on now.
Rock it up.
Hello and welcome to my channel Wrestling Latest. WWE wants to entertain fans in many ways. Some of the ideas that are made by WWE works and some failed. So today we are going to talk about 10 things WWE did in 2020 that made no sense. Number 10. Otis won the men's Money in the Bank match. One of the biggest shockers of the year happened during the Money in the Bank match this year, where the men's ladder match saw surprising winners. 6 superstars from both brands participated in the match, but Otis won it, overcoming big names like Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, and Rey Mysterio. While Otis had the momentum after her romance with Mandy Rose, he was nowhere near ready to be main event superstar, and thus it didn't make sense for him to win the Money in the Bank contract, which guaranteed a world title. Number 9. Retribution lost the very first match. Retribution was certainly the biggest shocking point of this year, who shocked the system with their heinous assault. Since their first appearance in August, they were billed as potential big names in the future, and their booking at the beginning made it seem like WWE had major plans for them. Unfortunately, they lost their way. When Retribution made their in-ring debut against the Hurt Business, they lost the match by disqualification, creating a bad first impression. They also lost against the same two weeks later. It didn't make sense to create such hype around the stable only to make them lose. Number 8 is that WWE made The Miz the holder of a Money in the Bank briefcase. When WWE realized that Otis wasn't the right choice to be the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, they decided to give to the new name. However, they still made a blunder while choosing a new owner. The Miz won the Money in the Bank briefcase from Otis at Hell in a Cell. The Miz might be a former Money in the Bank winner as well as WWE champion, but he is no more than a mid-carder now. He failed in epic fashion at cashing in his Money in the Bank contract at TLC 2020, making the WWE Championship match a triple threat match along with Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles. Number 7. Charlotte Flair challenged the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania 36. Charlotte Flair won the Women's Royal Rumble match this year, winning it for the first time in her career. As per the rule, the winner should challenge either of the women's title on the main roster. However, Charlotte Flair didn't go after either the SmackDown Women's Champion or Raw Women's Champion. Instead, she set her eyes on the NXT Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, for the battle on the grandest stage of them all. Number 6. Lana won the Women's Survivor Series match for Raw. Like every year, Raw Women's team collided with SmackDown Women's team at Survivor Series. While it was a close match, the flagship show won the battle. Nevertheless, it was Lana who picked up the victory for Raw. Nia Jax and Bianca Belair got eliminated by count out. On the other hand, Lana was still in the match, and she was declared the sole survivor of the Red brand. Number 5 is that the Women's Money in the Bank was actually for the Raw Women's Championship match. Asuka won the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match this year, beating 5 other women. The Empress of Tomorrow was certainly a deserving winner, and she added another feather in her already illustrious career. Subsequently, Becky Lynch, then the Raw Women's Champion, revealed that Asuka not only won the Money in the Bank match, but also her first Raw Women's Championship, which was kept in the briefcase instead of a contract. It was understandable that Becky Lynch had to relinquish it due to pregnancy, but the decision didn't make that sense. Number 4 is Raw Underground. WWE introduced Raw Underground in August that had MMA-style matches hosted by Vince McMahon. Raw Underground here for a few weeks before WWE decided to scrap it from the Red brand. While Raw Underground was an innovative attempt to make the product interesting, it doesn't have specific rules nor separate rounds like MMA matches. Moreover, WWE abruptly took it off the air. Number 3 is that WWE advertised Backlash at Greatest Wrestling Match Ever. After locking horns at WrestleMania 36, a rematch took place between Edge and Randy Orton at Backlash, which was advertised as the greatest wrestling match ever. WWE wanted to get as many eyes possible on that match, but it doesn't make sense to call it the greatest wrestling match ever, especially as the match has two edging performance. It was certainly an incredible match and should be a contender for the match of the year. However, it was no way the greatest wrestling match ever in history and didn't live up to the tagline. Number 2 is gave Randy Orton a short WWE Championship reign. 2020 was arguably one of the best years of Randy Orton's career, especially after considering his substandard run in the past few years. The Viper not only brought back his old gimmick but also fought some elite opponents and also won the WWE Championship. Orton won his 14th WWE World title at Hell in a Cell as he maintained excellent momentum this year. He was expected to remain champion for a long time, but he dropped the title within 3 weeks. Number 1 is one of the most worst booking in the history of WWE, and that is The Fiend lost the Universal Championship to Goldberg. The Fiend took WWE by storm last year and terrorized everyone. Consequently, he won the Universal Championship. While he was enjoying an outstanding title reign, it came to a shocking end against Goldberg at WWE Super Showdown. It was the first of the Fiend, but the loss certainly derailed his momentum. It didn't make sense to dethrone the Fiend and make a 53-year-old part-timer the new WWE Universal Champion.